Michael Bryant and James McWinney, the field umpires. Introducing the starting lineups for today's second grade grand final for Baulkham Hills. Leading off the shortstop, Jordan Castle. First baseman, Kobe Cuthbert. Third base, Chris Ings. Second base, Matthew Courtney. The designated hitter, Samuel Levick. Right field, Lucas Stenchich. Left field, Dylan Wright. The catcher, Caleb Tunkin. Centre field, Riley McGregor. And the starting pitcher for Baulkham Hills, Damien Wilson. For Blacktown, the defensive starting lineup in left field, Darcy Williams. In centre field, Spencer Williams. In right field, Thomas Jackson. At third base, Chris The Bridge. Shortstop, Lachlan Oliver. Second base, Mitchell Tritton. At first base, Daniel Lakeman. The catcher, Alex Ranieri. And the starting pitcher, Harrison Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, for all those who are able, please stand for Advance Australia Fair. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to play ball. Don't forget, canteen facilities are available underneath the first base grandstand. Calamari and chips, and the chicken and chips goes very well. Plenty of refreshments available as well. The bar is open also down in the concourse. And a friendly reminder that smoking, vaping and the use of e-cigarettes is prohibited at Blacktown International Sports Park, so please head outside of the stadium if you wish to indulge yourself in that way. Thank you for your understanding.
The sun is trying to poke its head through the clouds, and the dirty dark clouds are hopefully making their way around Blacktown International Sports Park ahead of our second grade grand final, our fourth game of the week, with Wednesday first grade game 1 in the books, as well as the women's grade second grade decided on Friday night. Blacktown taking out third grade this morning, interrupted by a fire alarm and then a little bit of rain. But we are hoping for clear conditions for the next, well, 18 innings. Could be 14 innings, could be 20 plus something innings, but scheduled for 18, 9 here in second grade, 9 here in first grade coming up later. Jordan Castle to lead it off, facing Harrison Riley for Blacktown, and a very good afternoon to Grady Roberts.
How are we doing, Luke? It is always a pleasure to be out here, especially when I'm in your company.
Likewise, my friend. Ball one on the radar there to Jordan Castle.
We saw a game that was full of interruptions and distractions in our third grade, which was the first time slot of the day. Hopefully a little less, knocking on wood, for second grade, as I do think we have obviously the two best teams, but even through the regular season, these two teams shone above the rest throughout all the second grade squads.
1 and 2. Here, Jordan Castle. Umpires Jimin Lee, Michael Bryan, and James McWhinney. Michael at first, McWhinney at third. Jimmy Lee calling balls and strikes. 2 and 2 here to the leadoff in Castle. Blacktown, the minor premiers, and first to qualify, defeating Baulkham a fortnight ago. Baulkham Hills left 15 on base and struck out 13 times in that week 1 grand final qualifier. They're going to hope for a better showing here in this grand final. Both these teams, the last two clubs standing in the State League, and will contest game 2 of the first grade decider at 6 o'clock this evening. Keeping our eye on the radar. Hoping that the rain has fallen enough here today and we can get through the next 2 games without any further interruption. Kobe Cuthbert, the left-hander, outside corner, taken for a ball. Breaking pitch there at 76 miles, offered in by Harrison Riley. Baulkham Hills, 11 and 8 on the regular season. That one back up the middle, and that's a base hit. The first one of the game. And Baulkham Hills have their first base runner here in this second grade grand final. 109 runs scored, 84 conceded. They finished with a home record of 9 and 3. 3 and 6 on the road. So turn a couple of those road games around and they're right in contention for the top spot. It was a grade that was separated by 1.5 games midway through the year between 2nd and 7th. Or 1st and 7th, rather. Between 1st and 7th, the games behind marker was at 1.5. Unfortunately, Vikings just couldn't get anything going all year. Collecting the wooden spoon with 3 wins, 15 losses, and a draw.
It is always nice to see a good amount of parity between just about your entire division. Having one team run away with it, Dodgers, isn't always as much fun as it should be, unless you're a fan of that club, obviously.
And running away with it at the moment, 4-0.
162-0 potentially.
He bets with the heartbreaker last night against Detroit. Blacktown, 13-4-2. Finished with 131 runs scored, 52 against, and a differential of 79. They ride a 4-game winning streak coming into this grand final. Enjoyed the week off, as did their first grade and third grade teammates. Outside corner taken by Chris Ings. We'll bring in that Baulkham Hills batting lineup. Jordan Castle, Kobe Cuthbert, Chris Ings, followed by Michael Courtney, Sam Levick, Lucas Stancic, then Dylan Wright, Caleb Tunkin, Riley McGregor. 1 through 9 for Baulkham. 3-1 here to the man known to all as Shorty. You can see why. Could almost put him in the Garden Gnome category.
Oh,
You won't mind me saying that. Takes the strike. Thought he had drawn the walk. A late call, and you'll see a lot of those late calls from Jimin Lee. Doesn't announce the strike straight away. You never quite know until the last moment with Jimin Lee. 3-2. That one chopped into his own leg. The Blacktown defensive alignment in the outfield. You got Darcy Williams and Tom Jackson patrolling the corner. You got Spencer Williams in centre. At third is Chris the Bridge, the shortstop. Here's Lachlan Oliver. Mitchell Tritton at second. Daniel Lakeman at first, the catcher. Here's Alex Ranieri. And Harrison Riley is going to have an out, a hit and a walk to start things here in the first. Bring up Michael Courtney. I knew Michael wasn't right. It's Matthew. Why didn't you correct me? So Matthew Courtney goes to the right side. Mitchell Tritton to Lachlan Oliver. Off the bag, it pulls Daniel Lakeman. He tries to get the tag on Matthew Courtney and just can't apply it, and doesn't argue with Michael Bryant over at first base. And Baulkham Hills, they stay out of the double play and they put runs on the corners. Ings retired at second on the fielder's choice, coming up a little bit short. Kobe Cuthbert moving up the third.
so to have the first run only 90 feet away this early in the game is always important. Cronulla in the previous game today scoring first, but unable to capitalise on that advantage after allowing 8 runs without response later in the game.
He couldn't quite get it going. Off to a hot start, but pitching getting the job done for Blacktown in third grade. Harrison Riley spent time between second grade and first grade, filling in first grade for the Blue Sox players coming out of the Blacktown side. Matty Ray, Josh Geyer, Todd Grattan, as well as Kyle Gogoski and Liam Dawn. It's very handy as a first grade side to have 5 ABL caliber arms in your club. That one lifted right side over to it. Here's Jackson, he makes the catch. The Borco strand 2. It was the story of the game a fortnight ago. I left too many base runners on. They've left on another 2 here in the first, so we'll head to the home half. Blacktown, they'll try to score first. Spencer Williams leading off for Blacktown. he's going to tell you a little bit about Spencer's season.
Spent most of his time in second grade. Pretty effective as a lead-off guy. 346 batting average, a 452 on base, which allows him an 836 OPS, which again, we mentioned it earlier in the third grade broadcast, that anything above 700, 750 is usually on par for a good player. If you get to 1,000, then you're going to start talking elite and all-star numbers, but 836 is very efficient for a lead-off guy. Had a pair of doubles on the year, one of them against Manly, one of them against MacArthur. Walked 10 times and only struck out 4. Only one of those was looking. So again, the numbers you want to see from your lead-off guy is low strikeouts, high walks, high on-base percentage. Which does sound like baseball 101, let's be completely honest.
You can put all the parameters in place, you've still got to be able to meet the expectation. You get to this part of the season, more often than not, those guys are going to be in the positives in those categories. The guys that aren't, well, they're the guys that are enjoying their off-season already. Tough play, off the bag. Matthew Courtney brings Kobe Cuthbert into the air. Cuthbert does well to get vertical and prevent the ball from getting past him. It'll be a lead-off single there for Spencer Williams.
Williams has stolen 6 on the year, only caught twice. So again, don't be surprised if your leadoff guy does go walkabout, as it were.
Or runabout in this case.
Definitely runabout.
Damien Wilson, Cronulla Jr., now playing his baseball with the Baulkham Hills club. Just 2 appearances by the looks of things in second grade. The 3-inning outings. They start against Cronulla. Williams takes off, but the foul ball from Ranieri. I'll see him go back.
I did just talk about Spencer's, what would be a triple slash in your average on base and slugging, or OPS. Ranieri's got some slightly more interesting numbers. A 357, 397, 915 OPS. As he drives on to third. We'll get Spencer at second, and the double play like you drew it up, gentlemen.
And it just looks so effortless as
Yes.
well. Ings fired a great shot over to Matt Courtney. Probably had his wrong foot on the base there, but it didn't matter. He got back out of the sliding zone and fired a strike over to Kobe Cuthbert, who easily retired Ranieri at first for the double play. So lead-off single. Retired and straight to Shorty this time. Knocks it down. The old man's got it over there at third. Back-to-back plays on back-to-back pitches for Baulkham and Chris Ings. And just like that, the first inning comes to an end. We'll head to the second, tied at 0.
away half of the second. Stanchich right and Tunkin due up for Baulkham Hills.
Pretty nasty Mo. Would you like me to bring my microphone down so you can hear me?
I would like you to bring your microphone down, Mr. Eisenhower.
Look at Stanchik sporting a pretty gnarly Mo standing in the batter's box.
It's not exactly Rolly Fingers levels of mustachioed greatness.
It's probably
but
more Paul Skeens.
it is a lot more Paul Skeens. Spencer Strider, another fantastic Mo in the current rotation.
Didn't want to wear that pitch for his team. Jumps out of the way. 192 average for Stanchich. Played on the 29th of September, then wasn't seen again until the 2nd of February. Just 5 hits for his 26 trips. His 26 at-bats, 38 trips to the plate. He made 4 in every game. And he also had a 5th against MacArthur and Vikings. Close that one off, that'll fly on to Olympic Boulevard here out of Blacktown International Sports Park. Start of the season with a double against Manly. The only extra base hit he had, he drove in 6, scored 7, walked 10, struck out 6. So you see the positive walk to strikeout ratio once more. On the ground at the bridge. Pass it over to Lakeman for out number 1 to start the second.
So one thing to note is that Blacktown did win the season series over Baulkham Hills. Starting from most recent on backwards, February 9th, Blacktown got up 11-3. 15th of December, a 5-1 win. Unfortunately, Blacktown did lose on Sunday, the 20th of October. It was an 8-4 ball game, Baulkham Hills way. So a loss early in the season for Blacktown, but able to recoup and again get that first win in the finals against Baulkham Hills.
Baulkham Hills winning 4 out of the last 5 games to not a sneak in a second place. Roland Wright seemingly had that 2nd and 3rd spot locked up. Baulkham Hills are kind of hovering in 4th with MacArthur and Manly breathing down their backs. And Baulkham Hills actually lost to Manly.
Right, popping out to Williams out in centre field. Just a lazy pop up and lazy move over for Williams, not having to do too much other than fight that big yellow orb in the sky.
Yeah, Baulkham Hills losing 4-2 to Manly on the 16th of Feb, which was Lizzie McEwen Day, the pink day out at Baulkham Hills. And they got the 5-3 win over Cronulla the following week, and then 6-4 over MacArthur, and then they defeated the Wooden Spooners Canterbury 9-0 to close out the season. So a 3-game win streak heading into the playoffs. Went down 4-1 to Blacktown. Like I said, stranded Baker's dozen. Struck out 13 times. Also received 12 walks. When you throw 12 walks, 6 hits, that's 18 base runners. You only score 1 run. Close to 17, the actual left on. Game changer not actually giving us a total of left on base. Probably find that in the advanced scoring.
Regardless, even the optics of leaving on more than 10 runners.
We saw Cronulla leave on 13 or 11 or something in the prelim series against Baulkham Hills. To walk 12 times and have 6 hits, that's 18 base runs. Blacktown didn't commit an error, so no one got on for free in that sense.
Tunkin getting fanned by Riley. And that will end the top half of the second. We go to Blacktown. The score is still 0-0.
Four, 5, 6 here for Blacktown. Bottom half of the second. Blacktown, the home team in third grade, second grade. They will be the visitors tonight in first grade. The middle game is the reverse. There they are. Behind in the series, 1-0. Shows bunt, pulls back. Hold a ball. And they have the task of facing Alex Wells.
And I can tell you from experience, that is not the easiest thing to do in the slightest.
Blacktown will likely counter with Josh Geyer, we are expecting. Matty Ray was strong on Wednesday. Blacktown didn't have any answers for Cohen Wynn. Did get to him late. Wednesday night finished 3-2. Outside corner to Tritton. 3-1 the count.
What we can tell you about Tritton is he's got a 420 batting average on the year, has a 552 on base, which gives him that elite 1,000 plus OPS, 1152 on the year. 3 triples. It's usually a good way to bump up your on base and slugging together. Does draw the walk there. So first base runner of the inning on for Blacktown. Violent swing and a violent foul from Jackson. Thomas Jackson on the year. 364 average, 426 on base and an 826 OPS. Wilson's going to check back in. Not a lot of checks during the previous game. Might start to see it a bit more today, or today in this game.
This afternoon and tonight.
This afternoon and tonight, yes.
Man. Things get a little bit closer when the ball's thrown a little bit harder in the higher grades.
You say harder, but Cal Murray, the closer for Blacktown in the last game, was borderline touching 90. Hit 89 a handful of times, which, again, not something that I would want to face. Quite happy to sit up here in the booth and talk about it. He will wind one through to right field. Luke Stanchich taking that one up, and we will play station-to-station baseball as the first 2 runners reach for Blacktown in the second.
And walking a base hit. And just watch the footwork of Thomas Jackson, rather. Kind of just jumped back in the box a little bit, opened up the right side of the infield. Even though it jammed his hands somewhat, he was able to punch it through the right side. And that's Blacktown's second hit of this second grade grand final.
Nathan Skinner striding in.
Damien Wilson threw 51 and 2/3 innings in second grade. 11 appearances, all of them starts. He did have a couple of games where he pitched 7. Gave up 12 of his 22 runs as earned on 37 hits. He walked 12, struck out 73. He had 4 games of 8 strikeouts or more. His season high was February 22 against his old team, Cronulla. Cronulla that faces off in the grand final. At a time to be determined, finishes with an ERA in second grade of 2.09. Bottom of the zone, out of Nathan Skinner. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, while Nathan Skinner is DHing in second grade today, don't be surprised if he does pick up the pill. I can tell you, again, from personal experience, that he is quite a crafty pitcher. Once threw a perfect game across 3 games, 3 starts of 3 innings, and didn't allow a base runner between the 3. Which again might be a nothing statistic in this game, but it's just a bit of fun to know that I was there for that. So Wilson is going to load up the bases with none out.
Doesn't matter where you throw a 3-game perfect game.
You can do it up in Tamworth, and it's still something to know.
You can throw 3 innings, not give up a hit at any level. You're doing pretty well. I'd take that.
Does bring Darcy Williams up and into play. Sees strike 1. 240 average, 361 on base for a 600 OPS. Average with runners in scoring position, 304. So not too much better, but marginally. Even still with none out, you've got to imagine that a hit and run might be in play, or a sacrifice fly to the outfield is definitely going to score at least 1. Ball just off the outside corner of the plate. Baulkham Hills marginally petitioning for that call. One and 2 count.
Sorry, mate, just finished up my Red Frogs.
Did you bring some for the whole class?
No. Did buy you calamari and chips, though.
You did. You, in fact, did. Oh, the production assistant coming through with the snakes.
What do you mean production assistant? The production master. Right side again. That's 2 hits through the 4-hole. Blacktown happy to go 1 base at a time. Darcy Williams getting the job done. After the walk to Nathan Skinner, loaded the bases on Blacktown. They get on the board first here in this second grade grand final. We're in the second inning. Damien Wilson, 11 starts in the under-18s. It's his second start in second grade, and it comes in a big spot in a grand final, and he's battling the bases loaded. Called strike into Chris the Bridge. Still nobody out for Baulkham Hills. And a spot of bother. Infielders playing back. Middle infielders rather playing back. Happy to turn 2 and give up a run. Corners as at least Shorty's playing behind the line. Kobe Cuthbert in close at first. Big swing and a miss by Chris the Bridge. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Bridge able to put it in all fields, really. Can go the opposite way, as shown in his spray chart. So don't be surprised if the one goes out to Stanchichin right. And
breaking pitch in there, freezes the Bridge, and he kind of knew it. He thought it was going to be up, and then all of a sudden saw the rotation on the ball, and it drops into the glove of Caleb Tunkin for an important first out. Lee throwing the punch out. In the middle there for a called strike.
Does bring the 9-hole Lachlan Oliver up to the plate. Lachlan Oliver, a Down Under World Series alum. Was there in the pub. Lachlan was there for the inaugural one up at Redcliffe Baseball Club. As part of that under 21s Blue Sox squad that ended third. Grounds one to short, and the double play is broken up. Double play is broken up by Williams, and a run is scored. So Oliver will reach on fielder's choice. You rotate back to the top of the lineup with Williams.
Williams of the Spencer variety.
Williams of the Spencer variety,
That's
indeed.
the one.
It is always good to see family members playing in the same team, especially at the higher levels. Oliver running on the first pitch as Williams of the Spencer variety fouls one into himself.
Wearing a very famous number.
42, yes.
Surprised more teams haven't retired it. Or just stop their guys from wearing it.
Except for the Yankees with Mariano Rivera.
Well, he was the last one to wear it. He was wearing it before it was retired. Obviously allowed to wear it until the great Sandman retired himself. Oliver takes off again. Oliver on the ground. Castle, only one play, and that's the first. Sidearm sling. And that gets the out. 2 on the board here for Blacktown. They're going to play this grand final from in front as we head to the third. Strike one. Fired in to start the inning. Matthew Courtney, the hitter. quickly ahead is Harrison Riley, 0-2. Looking for a shutdown inning as his team scored first runs of the ball game. That one up and in. He's off. That one also too high, so nice. Sorry, it's Riley McGregor. Strike 3 call. McGregor down on strikes. Doesn't want to offer that one. Harrison Riley. He had 8 of the 13 strikeouts a fortnight ago. You can make that 11 now in 7 1/3 innings. Old strike there to Jordan Castle. Back to the top of the order. And a batting order that's changed somewhat for Baulkham Hills from a fortnight ago. Jordan Castle hitting in the 3 hole, now batting in the leadoff spot. Maybe Cuthbert, who was down in the 6 hole, elevated into the 2 hole. Chris Ings drops the spot. Matthew Courtney moves up. Sam Levick shuffling around. Gregor and Tunkin swapping spots. So a little bit of work done by the Baulkham Hills club to reverse the situation they were in a fortnight ago, and the new leadoff man in Jordan Castle picks up a hit with 1 out. Draw that. Claw back a run or 2. Blacktown have put on the board in the bottom of the 2nd. 1 for 2 with a strikeout now. $3 a.m. local time, of course. Time does not factor into grand finals. We play all 9 innings, more if we need them, less if one team can get ahead. 15 after 5, 10 after 3.
Don't want to be that guy.
But you will be.
I will be. You just said 3 a.m., did you not?
If I did, then
it is incredibly bright.
I obviously didn't get enough sleep last night. Of course, I meant 3 p.m. You can go back and replay that if you want.
Yes.
The sun pushing through. Hopefully, like I mentioned at the top of the call, it stays around. There are some big cumulus clouds, but hopefully they pass. The whiter they get, the better.
Riley is going to go and just check in on Castle, make sure he's not getting too ahead of himself. Three stolen bases on the year for Castle.
Popped up left side off the bat of Cuthbert. Oliver back for it. And the slide of Darcy Williams is going to take out Lachlan Oliver. It's almost a yellow card in soccer. Although he did get the man with the ball. Lachlan Oliver's going to be shaken up a little bit. As Brendan Bojarski will just go out and check on his shortstop.
His left fielder, rather.
Left fielder. I thought it was Oliver. I thought it was Oliver coming down.
Lachlan was able to get up and
under the slide tackle. Fell rather heavily. In fact, it was a nice bit of defensive work by Lachlan Oliver. A speedy shortstop. Showing plenty of range. Got back into shallow left field. Looks like he's trying to sit up. He's got his head up, hat back on, glasses on. He's back on his feet.
Going to do all the obligatory, hey mate, you're hurt, you concussed.
What day is it? What's your name?
Tuesday.
That's when that might have been playing.
Might have
read
been.
that already. A few might have been still to be sorted out. We'll probably have those confirmed by the time we get into our first grade game. We don't want to jump the gun too early in case things go awry. There is a plan in place for the under-18 in the women's first grade grand final. We will reveal more once we have things locked in a little tighter. Chris Ings now the hitter with 2 out. Jordan Castle remaining at first base. I mentioned just before the slide tackle in left field that he is 3 for 3 in stolen bases. That one ripped up the line by one of the more experienced players in this Baulkham Hills lineup. That could be enough for the first run for Baulkham Hills. It is. Scoring from first will be Jordan Castle. Chris Ings with the big RBI double to get Baulkham Hills on the board here in the third. They make it a 2-1 ball game.
Just an excellent piece of hitting there from Chris Ings. Able to just find his pitch and drive it hard down that left field line and obviously score first run of Baulkham Hills Day from first base.
Third double of the year, third extra base hit of the year. He had a double against Manly on the 29th of September and again on the 10th of November against Greater Western. Comes up with a decisive one here.
Chris Ings, one of the core players for this second grade squad, according to the coaching staff, just said he's a good old head to have around and is able to calm nerves for a lot of the younger players. And, well, with a performance like that he's currently showing, then I can see why they'd have him around.
Straight back up the middle. Nice diving stop by Lachlan Oliver. One bounce, Leighton can't handle it. And Chris Ings is going to come around to score. Matthew Courtney with the ball in play and causing havoc on the base paths. Throwing error recorded against Lachlan Oliver will extend this inning and tie up this ball game. Blacktown get 2 in the bottom of the second. Harrison Riley looking for a shutdown, but unfortunately unable to get it after the single by Castle, the double by Ings. Now an error up by Lachlan Oliver. First error of this second grade grand final.
Game plan for Baulkham seems to be working. Keep it simple and limit mistakes. They had a good game on Tuesday. They've done it before. They can do it again.
So it's only charged as an error to move Courtney into second. It's got an infield single. So another voice now for Baulkham. 2-on-3 and an error for Blacktown. That one on the inside corner. Taken by Sam Levick.
Can tell you that there is an arm already getting warm in the Blacktown bullpen. Do have a handful of options for who it could be.
On the ground, this time to Oliver, chance to redeem himself, bobbles, picks up. Courtney's going to be too quick. Sorry, it's Levick. Courtney moving up the third. Levick staying out of the out. And Baulkham Hills making the most of their opportunity. They've been able to tie the game on the wild throw. And then a little bobble there by Lachlan Oliver. Maybe still showing some effects of that collision in left field a couple of batters ago. And it was in fact the left fielder Darcy Williams who was on the ground. Effected the tackle, then couldn't get back up.
It's not what you want to see from a front rower. This kind of rugby. Oh, it's baseball. We're talking about baseball.
Okay, Andy Raymond, settle down.
About to say I wouldn't mind seeing Lachlan Oliver suit up for the mighty blue and gold, my Parramatta Eels.
They can take all the help they can get at the moment. They kick off in about an hour's time over at the Fortress Brookie Oval. Fortress of Four Pines, rather. Taking on the Manly side, who put 30 past my Raiders in the first half last week, rather. Weren't too much better last night against the Cowboys, gifting them their first win of the year. That one on the inside corner back here at the baseball. Harrison Riley just missing in his location. A dirty mo of Lucas Stancic. Heading the count here, 3-2. A check on the runner in Levick back at first. Tipped into the glove. That'll fill the count at 3-2, and with 2 out, Sam Levick will be on the move up to second. And chases after the higher pitch. 82 on the radar for Harrison Riley, and he gets out of the inning. Strands another couple, but Baulkham, they responded to Blacktown's 2 in the bottom of the second. They've got 2 of their own here in the top of the third. And now it'll be Baulkham looking for that shutdown inning and keep this a 2-2 ball game.
Back in the home half of the third, Blacktown. We've got Ranieri, Lakeman and Tritton due up, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. After scoring 2 in the second, Baulkham Hills were able to respond with 2 of their own in the top of the third. Strike called on Ranieri. Ranieri, again, one of those guys that can spray to all fields as he pops one up to shallow left. Castle's going to shade over and pick that one up.
To the right, just happy for Jordan Castle to track back on that one as opposed to the Blacktown shortstop on left fielder. Getting in each other's way.
Baulkham Hills have done their scouting report, making sure they don't make similar mistakes. We'll bring Big Dan Lakeman into the box. Lakeman swings on one. It's going to go foul down the right field line and into the Blacktown bullpen. Again, Lakeman, one of those guys that can hit to all fields. Put one deep and onto the outfield warning track earlier this year. Triple against Vikings. Hit a home run on November 23rd against MacArthur, that time over the left field wall, rather.
Almost on the train tracks, I heard.
Very nearly onto the train tracks. It was one hell of a blast. He's got 1030 OPS. Again, anything above 1 is usually going to be an elite level. Swings on it, grounds it to Castle. Fires over to first to get Lakeman as well. So that's two out for Blacktown, both via the way of Jordan Castle.
Put out and an assist. The Baulkham Hills shortstop has that little sidearm sling as he throws the ball over to first base. One just jamming up Lakeman, 68 miles on the breaking pitch. One to the right side. Courtney can't get there. Tips off his glove. Lakeman's turned, but Stancic didn't realise he had his head down and then looked up already back in the middle of the infield. There's a wide turn there by Mitch Tritton. Could have found himself in trouble, but gets back to the base in time. It's a 2-out single for the workers to keep this inning alive.
Thomas Jackson striding up to the plate. Something we haven't talked about a lot thus far today. Wilson, starting pitcher for Baulkham Hills, is a southpaw, so obviously the lefty-righty matchup always going to favour the batter if they are right-handed.
The batter is, not the left-handed pitcher.
Yes. The rule of thumb is if you're facing an opponent of a different handedness, thank you, then it's always going to favour the batter. I think crew chief coming out to Wilson, just telling him to cool his chops ever so slightly, make sure he is coming to a set.
It might have been a bit of a ball issue as Jimmy Lee went out with a fresh baseball. For whatever reason, we don't know.
That one's speeding you up. I'll take that. You take this one.
Oh, picked off. Cuthbert with a throw. Safe, yeah. Got in the base first, did Tritton. Nice play all around. The move, Cuthbert, the throw, maybe a little bit high, but Tritton, plenty of speed to keep himself out of danger there. He's got himself in scoring position with 2 out. Thomas Jackson at the dish.
Does put Tritton at 15 on the years. Now I've got a 5-game steal streak.
Oh, a 5-game steal streak. I like that.
Going back to February 23rd against Greater Western. Stole one there. Had 4 against the Vikings on March 2nd. So you just know that he was productive on that day. 1 against Cronulla and another against Baulkham Hills on March 16th.
Castle now being taken away from the regulations shortstop position, having to pay a little bit of attention to Mitch Tritton running around in front of him. Seeing his speed, taking long secondaries. It's opening up a big hole on the left side for Thomas Jackson. Something we haven't yet discussed, and this is usually when we do it, is our magic number for this game.
Oh dear. You've been very close all week.
Yeah, I'm 0 for 3 in a differential of -3.
Oh, I think I'm definitely 0 for 3. The differential of anywhere between
I think
10 and
about,
25.
I think it's at about 20.
Yeah.
Well, your first one really blew it out.
The each way bet of 2 runs or 10.
Mm-hmm. Well, I needed to get short odds. That one's going to be a short odds favourite to drop into centre field. In for it is Riley McGregor. The long throw home, too high for Caleb Tunkin. And Thomas Jackson will have an RBI single and he'll move up to second on the throw. And Blacktown, just like that, retake the lead here in the top of the third. They lead it 3-2.
Again, you don't have to do too much when you're in the box. You just have to put ball in play and trust your feet to do the rest.
Plenty of speed in this Blacktown lineup as well. Top of the order. You've got guys like Williams, Lakeman, Tritton, Jackson, and Darcy Williams and Lachlan Oliver down in the bottom half.
Lachlan Oliver kind of taking that Lawrence Butler role of, you might not have all the flashy numbers, but you're fast, you're quick, and you can get on base every now and then. So we're just going to have you as what is effectively a second #1 spot.
The odd 9-hole, second lead off. 1-1 here to Nathan Skinner, who walked in his last at bat. I'm going to say the magic number's probably 6 in this one.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Skinner swinging and missing. Wilson ahead 1 and 2. Third inning of work for him.
I'm not sure if I want to price is right. That I'm thinking of going 7.
Okay. Jackson takes off. Still without a throw. Excuse me. Count now even at 2 and 2. And for Nathan Skinner. Another one ripped in the right field. Jackson probably scored from second anyway on that. Nathan Skinner RBI. Stolen bases makes it all that bit easier for Thomas Jackson just to trot across home plate and double the Blacktown lead. 4-2 here in the third. It was 4-1 a fortnight ago. And we're already 4-2 here in the third. Decision coming up for the Baulkham Hills coaching staff. How long do they persist with Damian Wilson? Everyday starter in Brett Ardill. Not quite warming just yet. Darcy Williams fouls off the first pitch over to the Family Hill here at Blacktown, then rips that one foul over towards the Baulkham Hills dugout. Been able to get ahead Wilson, but hasn't found the killer punch on the last couple of at-bats. So you have what it takes to get out of this inning here.
We did start this inning with a fly out and a ground out, both to Castle, and all the runs have come since then. Each and every one. No walks, all of them coming via the way of the stick.
But love some 2-out baseball. Darcy Williams trying to continue things here. Nathan Skinner takes off.
Skinner not overly known for his wheels, but will attempt the steal.
He's a smart baseballer, though.
Yes, he's a smart
He'll work
baseballer.
out the right time to pick your pocket. And I've seen him do it up in first grade as well as second grade. Just get the timing right, and because you, as a pitcher or a defensive player, don't really think he's going to steal, that gives him that little bit of an edge. Up to Chris Ings. He's only going to have one play. That's over to third. Could have gone for Skinner heading to second, but goes across the diamond and retires Blacktown. But 2 more on the board for Blacktown. They led 2-0 after 2. They lead 2-0 after 3. We've had a couple of responses so far, and Baulkham Hills return serve. Or Blacktown lock it down when we come back with the fourth.
top half of the fourth. Going to have Wright, Tunkin and McGregor, the 7, 8, 9 for Baulkham Hills up. Now, we have been plagued by weather and other supernatural circumstances out in Blacktown today, between fire drills immediately followed by rain delays. We are going to have a little chopper down to first.
Oh, Michael Bryan with the safe into the out. On a Dylan Wright head first dive into the bag. I think he does get the right call in the end.
I do believe he does, but
Definitely.
the almost safe call to begin with is more my question.
Sometimes you got to go to your first instinct, but
We'd give a call to New York, but unfortunately we don't have those capabilities.
no, we do. New York confirmed it. Benny Price is New York.
2 balls to Caleb Tunkin.
And I was just wishing the rain would stay away. I didn't say I was going to stay away. I said it was looking pretty good on the radar.
There were a couple of us out on Diamond 2 between games trying to do a bit of a rain dance and give us an opportunity to get at least through second and hopefully most of first grade. Fortunately, I don't think we did it well enough.
Oh, there goes the ball for bat toss again before the late strike call by G-Min Lee.
Strike 2 called on Tunkin, who drops the head almost through the bat away again. Makes the count full. Fouls one directly back. So to go from a 3-0 count to 3-2, thinking both of them were balls has got to be tough and definitely changes the way you attack the upcoming pitches. Swung on, left centre. We get taken in by Williams, who's tracking over.
There's a lot of mental fortitude to come back from a 3-0, then go down 3-2 on a couple of borderline pitches. Not the worst finish by a Tunkin. At least he put the ball in play. That's all you can ask for. They don't want to stand there looking at a borderline strike 3 pitch. Almost found a gap. 2 away now. Comes up. Ollie McGregor. On the ground, Oliver comes in. Flicks it over. Hangs on, yep. Michael Bryan checks in, says that is out. And Blacktown, they didn't respond after the second. They've responded here after putting up 2 in the bottom of the third to put up a 0 and take a 4-2 lead into the home half of the fourth. And the rain has settled in, and I'll tell you what, the players are going to have to act quickly to get this cover on because this is the heaviest it's been all day, and if they aren't quick enough, we might lose play for the rest of the day. Great work by Adrian Hamley to get that cover on home plate nice and quick, although it's the wrong one. That was the mound cover. And the home plate now cover comes out. Quickly unfolded, and they're probably just going to get it on in time before that home plate gets too wet. They've got it on sideways at the moment. Blacktown players now coming out of the dugout. They're lending some assistance. Funky Phil's getting in the act. No microphone in his hand tonight. Thank you very much. Now they just need to spin it around the right way and get the coverage up the base path. They're not going to worry about that for now. They're happy just to cover home plate. And they have done that. And it's, look, in true Blacktown International Sports Park rain fashion, as soon as you get the covers on, it stops. It just got very heavy very quickly for a very short period of time. Now Funky Phil's leading the charge and getting it spun around the right way, which is actually going to cause all sorts of problems on home plate itself, just spitting dirt everywhere. The batter's boxes are going to have disappeared, but they've got it around the right way, which is a small win. And you take the small wins in situations like this. I have just done a check of the rules during that third grade game, and so long as we play 5 innings, that will constitute a game. The game can't be finished on the day that it starts, and the result after 5 innings will stand. If we get through the 5th here, and the boys will take it off the pitching mound, I probably would have, yeah, maybe probably about half an hour's play. Blacktown players walking back out onto the diamond. Just a small delay here. Enough time to get the cover on. Enough time to take it off. Phil getting in on the action. Halfway and participation manager Darren Kelly also out there on tarp duty today. See, if I was doing the tarp, I would have folded from this angle, the top part that covers the baselines. I would have folded them in first and then made it a square and then folded it from there. But I'm sitting up here in the booth. I'm not getting my brand new white Under Armour shoes dirty. Stay up in the comfort of the air-conditioned broadcast booth. By the time I would have got down there, it would have been too late anyway. And play will get back underway very shortly. Already had a couple of interruptions today. That's our producer extraordinaire, Benny Price, just wiping some condensation off the lens. This rain, it came down so heavy it was actually blowing sideways into the grandstand. That's why the camera from this angle was covered in rain. This is well undercover as well, halfway back in the grandstand. That is such that the rain is coming down. Baulkham now with an arm up in the pen. Blacktown had one up there earlier. Now nowhere to be seen unless he's hiding in the corner. Looks like that he is. Doesn't look like Brett Ardell up there. Maybe saving Brett Ardell for the back end of the game. It's Damien Wilson to continue here in the 4th, and he fires it into Chris Ridge, bottom of the zone for ball 1. For a quick delay, we're back underway. That was pitch number 61 for Damien Wilson. 60 through 3, so he's hovering around that 20 mark. He needs to work on his economy a little bit here. Deep breaths, Benny, deep breaths. All right, putting up all the cameras.
3-0 count to Chris the Bridge. Swung on and fouled way down the right side. GA area.
A bit of hack at the 3-0. You may as well.
You know the fastball's coming. Surely you have to.
Just a matter of where. In turning one, because sometimes you get that and just checks that it was ball 4. There's been a couple that have been called in a similar zone, but
You never want to assume that you're going to get the walk, because after all, it makes an idiot out of you, and also you're an idiot.
well, you know what they say when you assume?
Yeah.
Make an ass out of you and me. And Christopher Bridge didn't want to be the ass. And he didn't want Jimmy Lee to be the ass either. So that looks like it's all for Damian Wilson. We're going to have our first quarter of the bullpen in his second grade grand final. It's 3+ innings for the young under 18 pitcher. 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. 65 for total, 38 for strikes. Baulkham Hills will make the first change. Looks like it might be Nick Sukins to come out. Find out in a moment once the change is made through a game changer. Unfortunately, we don't get given the list of bench players for each team. Nick Sukins had in relief, pitched earlier in the series.
Do know that Nick Sukins is returning from injury early this year. Really played his boots off the last 4 or 5 weeks, was one of the names to watch from that Baulkham Hills coaching staff. Alongside Chris Ings, and Rolly McGregor's defence apparently is really peaked over the last handful of weeks.
Let's hope it's still got some peaking to do. At least one more good game. 5 1/3 fired by Sukins. Was on Tuesday night in that preliminary final. Washed out on the Sunday, so they played on the Tuesday, which, looking at the date, it said 25th of March. It threw me for a second. That's not today, is it? What's going on? Faced 19 batters. It was a relief appearance for him. Just 3 hits, struck out 9, didn't walk a batter. Finished the regular season with an ERA of 2.91. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Long way off was the bridge, but Cuthbert was down the line. Sukins' ERA sitting now at 2.25 after 6 1/3 innings of scoreless ball, just allowing the 4 hits, 10 strikeouts, 5 of them all against Cronulla. He throws the batter. Shows bunt, drops it down this time, but can only foul it off. Doesn't quite drop it down. He started the game against Greater Western on the 2nd of February. It was his longest outing of the season. Got into the 6th inning there. Got into a 6th inning of work on Tuesday night. Came out of the game after 71 pitches. Outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. The first 4 appearances all starts. Inning against Cronulla, 3 against Ryde, 6 against Greater Western, and 3 against Blacktown on February 9. 4 runs all earned on 4 hits, struck out 7. That one up the middle. Castle picks it up, steps on second, fires over to first. A nice grab by Kobe Cuthbert for the double play. I believe that's the second they've turned here this afternoon, so that's one way to get rid of the lead-off walk. Rain delay, walk, pitching change, double play. Just how Baulkham Hills drew it up.
How did it all happen today? Double plays, collisions, rain and fire. Strike one called on Williams of the Spencer variety.
You're going to run with that now, aren't you?
I'm definitely going to run with that.
Lifts it up on the infield. Castle and Courtney combining. It's going to be Castle. The older statesman makes the call, catches it out on the grass, and the double play in the pop fly gets Baulkham Hills out of the 4th. We're off to the 5th. Blacktown, 4-2. Top of the lineup for Baulkham Hills. They trail by 2. Castle, Cuthbert and Ings, who are combined 3 for 5 with a run driven in. So top of the order getting it done. Try and get it done again. And try and give themselves a lead. Out in the dirt, backhanded by Ranieri. Strike here to Castle. 2-0 in fact to Castle. 1 for 2, a run and a strikeout so far today. That one ripped and straight at Chris the Bridge at 3rd. Had to reach across his body, otherwise that was up the line probably for extra bases. He did well, did third baseman for Bridge, and that's one away here to start the 5th. So one thing I wasn't planning on today was the sun coming out. And I probably should have been a little bit, hopeful the sun will come out, because I didn't bring my sunnies. Even though we're in a box, it's getting a little bit cleary. First world problems, I know. Would have been handy. Maybe Cuthbert steps in, the left-handed hitter. 1 for 2, single to start the game with 1 out. Jordan Castle struck out. On top of the zone, caught a ball.
Cuthbert, a Carlingford junior. The mighty Carlingford Cardinals has got a lot of family roots in that North Rocks Carlingford area. His father Craig, obviously a good player in and of himself. Jude and Isaac. Cuthbert pops one up to centre field, and Williams is going to drop it. Cuthbert's going to get into 2. Stand up double on the error.
Maybe Spencer Williams needed a pair of sunnies out there as the sun just makes its appearance again. That one, regulation out there for Williams of the Spencer variety.
One would argue that was quite routine for Williams of the Spencer variety.
Unfortunately, just couldn't get glove on it. Probably got a bit of glove on it, but couldn't get the pocket of the glove to receive the ball. And Baulkham Hills going to get back 2 runs have up in the third. With Ings. Got Baulkham on the board and then scored himself to tie it up. Hit a line shot down to left field. Got all the way into the corner, which is right where you want to put it. And this time rolls over. You look at his spray chart on the seas and a lot of it to the pool side. A nice little infield single halfway up the third baseline.
Take the choppers when you can get them.
3 into the outfield, 3 just on the left side of the infield and a couple to the right side. Love to put another one into the deep corner. And one up the line again. Fouling out of play. He's going to try and get one past the bridge, something that Castle couldn't do.
Mysterious arm is back up and moving for Blacktown.
Could be Jared Davidson, I think.
He has thrown the second most amount of pitches leading into today for Blacktown. Riley at 39 flat on the year, Davidson at 38 and a third. Swung on. The bridge able to pick it up, fires over to first. Cuthbert with the delayed, what some would argue is a steal, the delayed run, pick up another base. Also got Elijah North that they might consider having a go with. We do have Courtney now in the box, hoping to score Cuthbert from third on a just 2-out chip shot would do. Can tell you that it is Ethan Bickle warming up for Blacktown.
And just as I was looking up there, I came to the realisation that with Blacktown not around in the 18s, they do have their under 18s to call upon for this game as well. There's Ethan Bickle, who is warming up in the bullpen through 6 very strong innings last Saturday. Couldn't quite get his team over the line and into the 18s decider. Probably got the better of the outings. Up against Daniel Morganson from Cronulla.
Bickle through 19 innings for second grade this summer, but he's thrown 42 for the under 18s.
Nice job by Courtney there to lay off that fastball at the top of the zone. Now 1-2 to Matthew Courtney. One down and away. Riley trying to fish around the strike zone. He went up, then he went down. Doesn't get a swing at either point. Buckles in there on that breaking pitch, but it's too far inside to be effective and goes from 0-2 to 3-2. Brendan Bojarski just asking Jimin Lee where that pitch was. That one fouled off into the stand and onto Blacktown Olympic Boulevard, and Jimin Lee's run out of baseballs. He'll head over to the Baulkham Hills dugout and ask for a fresh replenishment.
So Bickle's 42 innings in under 18s gave him a 2.5 ERA, but his 19 innings in second grade. Have a guess what his ERA is at in second grade?
1.4.
Less.
0.6.
0.47.
Very nice. Straight back up the middle of the bat of Matthew Courtney. And the extended at bat, working his way back from 0-2. delivers his second hit of the afternoon. And a run on the board. 5th hit now for Baulkham Hills. They try to tie this ball game back up. They're trailed by a run here in the top of the 5th.
Does draw Levick now up to the plate. So with a run having been scored, Fortitude becomes a 4-3. I think that magic number of 6 is going to look pretty strong as we progress later in the game.
Harrison Riley, after getting ahead 0-2 against Matthew Courtney, couldn't quite put him away, and he's behind in the count here 2-1. His pitch count, I don't believe it's at 92. It's a lot higher than what I thought it would have been. Struggling for a little bit of location. Count now 3-1 to Sam Levick with Lucas Stancic on deck. Top of the zone, he draws the walk. No! That looked like ball 4. Levick certainly thought so. And now Jimmy Lee's just going to have a word and say, hang in just a little longer, young man. So the count runs full. Courtney's going to be off on the pitch. As a stray ball finds its way into right field. Just building the anticipation a little more for this 3-2 pitch. Levy kept the at-bat alive, kept the inning alive for his team. So Harrison Riley got the answer to get off the field. Couple of looks, another check. Courtney back on the bag. Only a short lead over there. Trying to catch him napping and not paying attention. Got to make sure that the pitcher commits. See once he lifts that front legger off. 3-2. Fired in and ripped into left field. Sam Levick becoming a bit of a hit parade, a walk, and then singles by Courtney and Levick keep the inning alive, and Brendan Bajarski's going to come out, and looks like he's thinking about a pitching change. Maybe he'll wait until he gets out there and chats with Harrison Riley, who's now at 96 pitches. Struggling here in the 5th. He's 4 2/3 through. And it looks like just a chat on the mounds. Settle down his charger and getting focused to find the final out of this inning without giving up any more damage. Lucas Stancic, he's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. Ethan Bickle looks like he's ready to take over if called upon. Meeting on the mound done, and with the aforementioned Lucas Stancic to try and tie this game back up once again for Baulkham Hills. Mustache of Stancic in the box. Jumps on the first pitch, and usually after a meeting of the mound, similar to a 3-0 pitch, you're going to get a pitch that's going to be there to be put in play. Riley sets with the 0-1, the check on Courtney, as Courtney getting dirty back to the bag. Mitchell Tritton getting over there to accept the throw. Couple checks of the runner. No one fouled off. Advantage now, he's behind 0-2. We've seen how effective, though, these Baulkham Hills bats can be in the 0-2 count. Taking long approaches, and Harrison Riley's had to work, and he hasn't quite had the answer. He gets it this time, tipped into the glove off the bat of Stanchich. 2 more stranded by Baulkham Hills. You can probably make it 6 or 7. They do get 1. And they can't tie it up. Blacktown lead 4-3, heading to the bottom of inning 5.
Ranieri, Lakeman and Tritton due up for Blacktown in the home half of the 5th as we technically cross the halfway point of the game. Ranieri and Lakeman 0-2 on the day. Tritton 1-1. 1-4-1 rather. Seconds is going to return for Baulkham Hills.
He did a great job to get out of the bottom of the 4th. That one's hit hard by Ranieri, but tracked back nicely by Riley McGregor to make the out. Blacktown reply after Baulkham Hills scored. That was after Baulkham Hills replied after Blacktown scored. See how Baulkham Hills respond here. Desperately need to keep this a 1-run ball game. Looks like Ethan Bickle back up. Maybe getting ready to come out in the 6th. One up and away, 2-0 to Alex Ranieri. In fact, 1-1 to Alex Ranieri.
Lakeman fouling one right side, and Lakeman's numbers on the year, we haven't overly touched on them. 333 average, a 440 on base and a 590 slugging for a 1030 OPS. Now, if I told you that those numbers were incredibly similar as he strikes out, thank you, Daniel, for making my point for me. I was going to say those numbers are starkly similar to 2023 Aaron Judge. But regardless, Mitchell Tritton now up at the plate, sees strike one, who again also has some incredible numbers, a 420 average, a 552 on base and a 600 clean slugging, an 1152 OPS, which is much more like 2024 Aaron Judge. MVP 1, 10.8 WAR. Pretty good year for Judge last year and pretty good year for Tritton this year.
It's that pitch for a caught strike, 1 and 2. Now he was picked off at first, but was able to still steal the base. Relying on his speed to get him there. Hit to the right side. That Courtney playing shaded over towards first. And then Ronald McGregor has to do the fielding in shallow right centre field, and it's a 1-out single. Saw Tritton's speed the last time he was on, and I'm sure I'll try and utilise it here.
Did see in the bottom of the third, Blacktown get those first 2 outs and then go on to score another pair of runs.
Straight away he's off, but it's a hit and run, and foul ball will bring Tritton back. Jackson the hitter, another check and a high throw, nicely brought in by Cuthbert. Tritton thought it might have gotten away.
Almost could have played the hidden ball trick on him.
Pretend to run it over to the wall and retrieve the ball. Takes off again. That one gets through Castle, but keeps it close. Tritton, second stolen base. Said he had 4 against Greater Western a couple of weeks ago, and I guess when he gets on, he's got the green light to take off when he sees fit. Bit easier for him with now the righty and Sukins on the mound. Strike 3 called. Thomas Jackson. Doesn't matter, Tritton. He'll be left on base even after stealing second. And Baulkham Hills get out of the 5th. They trail by a run as we head to the 6th, and Blacktown making the pitching change. Ethan Bickle coming out.
Pitching change for Blacktown. Ethan Bickle now on the mound. Spent most of his year in the under-18s, 42 complete innings with a 2.5 ERA. More importantly, in second grade action, he did spend a part of the year promoted to the majors. So 19 innings on the dot. Strike called. So 19 innings on the dot, 7 walks, 17 strikeouts. 6 of those were looking. A .474 ERA and a 1.05 walks and hits over innings pitched. The number that I'm more interested in is that .183 batting average against. He's keeping runs off the board. He's not walking a lot of guys. He's not letting him hit. So it'll be interesting to see how long he's going to stay in this game with a 1-run lead over Baulkham Hills. Got to imagine they'll stretch him out a little bit. There's just over a third of the game to go. Swung on and lined to the bridge. Wright did everything he could with what he had, and it all amounts to nothing.
And another hard line driver, Christopher Bridge in the hot corner. And Dylan Wright just maybe gives Caleb Tunkin a bit of scouting as they cross paths, swapping spots. Tunkin to the plate, Wright back to the dugout. And Oliver lets that ball get through the legs, kicks the dirt in frustration, and sometimes hitting the ball hard doesn't count for anything. We just saw that. Right, picking out the bridge. And then Tunkin, a little bit of a slow roll, and that gets straight through the legs of Lachlan Oliver for his second error of the night. And that's going to bring up Adrian Hamley to take over from Riley McGregor. McGregor finishing 0 for 2 with a strikeout. I'll go to the old head in Hanley with 1 out. Caleb Tunkin, the runner over at first base. It's always tough when you get a catcher on base. Middle stages of a baseball game. You know, you're down a run. Do you pinch run for him? Have you got someone of similar ilk sitting on the bench that can take over and do the job behind the dish? And looks like the answer for Baulkham Hills at the moment is no. Confident in Tunkin's ability to get round the bases.
I don't think it isn't for lack of trying. I know they're under 18's primary catcher. Strapping young lad. If I can find his numbers, he was pretty good this year.
Tunkin is 3 for 4 in stolen bases, caught just the once. That was back on the 12th of October against Cronulla. Doesn't have one against Blacktown. That one straight at Hamley. He's going to drop it for the double play, and they're going to say no. They're going to say it's deliberate. You're not allowed to deliberately do it. They'll only get Tunkin. No, Hamley's going to have to be brought back here. I don't think Adrian Hamley realises... Well, hang on. No, they're calling it a catch. No, they're calling it a catch, of course. That's the way that will finish. It'll be Adrian Hamley out on a line drive. And then Caleb Tunkin. Nice try there by Mitch Tritton. Needed to sell it maybe a little bit better.
The thought was there. The thought was indeed there. I can see what the game plan looked like in that moment.
Tough to do on a line drive, though, because it is hit so quickly at you.
I'm more impressed with his ability to go, hold up, I have an idea here, and immediately know what to do.
Yeah, well, he gives it to Mitch Tritton. He's got a couple of stolen bases. He worked his way out of a pick-off, and Almost had himself a double play. And that's just the level of thinking you need to have in, when you're playing in this type of a team, playing in these types of situations. That's just heads up defense. And you take your hat off to it. You've almost got to matrix your way out of the path of the ball and pretend you haven't seen it. To the right side off the bat of Jordan Castle. Mitch Tritton in the action. Did he hold on at first? Daniel Lakeman. Yes, he did. Jordan Castle out on the ground ball to end the inning on the diving play by Mitchell Tritton. He almost gets the double play with the heads up defense. He gets caught on his bluff there, but the diving stop and then the toss to Lakeman is going to retire Jordan Castle and keep this a one-run ball game. And Blacktown will try and extend the lead when we come back at the bottom of the 6th.
Skinner, Williams and the bridge up for Blacktown. 6, 7, 8.
Three runs on 6 hits for Baulkham. It's 4 and 7 for Blacktown. Blacktown have made 4 errors. A couple of to Lachlan Oliver.
It is unfortunate to see such a good athlete like Lachlan Oliver brick so many in one game. It's, speaking from the athlete's perspective, it's got to be tough on you mentally. Especially that Tunkin one that just rolls through your legs. That's just, some days you just want to look past and go, hey, I didn't have my best and I did what I could.
Some days you just want to dig yourself into a hole and
yes.
Forget that you ever played the game of baseball. That one, hot shot up the line off the bat of Nathan Skinner. Looks like it got a little bit of Kobe Cuthbert's glove as it died on its way heading into right field. Lucas Stancic doing the fielding out there. Akira Bastion takes over in centre field, so Hamley in there as a pinch hitter, which was the setup a fortnight ago. But the leadoff man aboard for Blacktown. Fouled off. Ooh, bad, and that's just maybe taken Tunkin, or the umpire. Looks like Jimin Lee's worn the brunt of that one.
Tunkin gonna just go have a small chat with Sukins and give the crew chief a moment to catch his breath, make sure that everything's all in its correct spot.
Baulkham Hill's got to be careful here. They need to give the same attention to Skinner that they gave to Tritton. You saw him sneakily try to steal a base. We spoke about his sneaking ability to steal a base. given that maybe the same respect isn't given to him, and he's that kind of a ball player that could definitely steal one on you. That one in there, called strike, 2-2. Popped up, but that'll get over the top of the grandstand. It'll completely clear the grandstand. Fall somewhere in the concourse behind us. Darcy Williams. Seven hole this afternoon. Now one on the outside corner, nicely laid off.
Williams does have a hit today, did score an RBI.
That one swung on a miss. So nice comeback by Sukins. It's a tough shot for Kobe Cuthbert to handle up at first, leading to that hit. The 8th hit for Blacktown. Going to try and strand that runner with the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the lineup. Chris Debridge, the second of those. He's over one with a walk. Got a couple of shots peppered to him at third base, and he's been up to the task. Breaking pitch, called a strike.
Breaking news, folks.
Breaking news.
Alexander Wells is in the building.
There you go. Haven't spotted Josh Geyer yet. There are a bunch of the Blacktown first graders currently in the dugout for this second grade game. Dressed in civvies, mind you, and if Paul Jones were here, they wouldn't be there. Have them out of there very quickly. Another breaking pitch. That freezes the bridge again. Second time he's frozen and struck out looking. Pair of strikeouts, both of them of the looking variety.
The aforementioned Lachlan Oliver now up to the plate.
Popped up, but Duncan goes the wrong way. He went out instead of back. Don't think he would have had a genuine chance at it anyway.
Would have been a diving chance and slim to none odds.
Yeah, I think it would have been about $1 for that ball to drop.
So one strike on young Lachlan Oliver.
There goes Skinner. Throw isn't on line. It's got the length. But Duncan pulls it. You see that so often. The ball thrown to the wrong side of the bag. So most of the time it's got the right length. It just hasn't got the right line. And there's that sneaky stolen base. Blacktown now with the insurance run. Standing at second, and don't know if he's watching tonight, but Darren Phillips offered me a little bit of constructive criticism on Wednesday night about insurance runs, and that one ripped through the left side. Nathan Skinner is going to be stopped at third. Dylan Wright got to that ball quickly. And Lachlan Oliver picks up his first hit of this grand final, turns the order over back to Spencer Williams and gives his team a chance to get that insurance run. Of course, the aim of the game is to score as many runs as you can. And it was early on when I mentioned a possible insurance run, and I didn't want to say it was an insurance run too early in the ball game. Normally your insurance runs are something that come in this part of the ball game, maybe inning 6, 7, 8 or 9. Obviously not happy with my comments and just offered a bit of Constructive criticism, I certainly appreciate it. Sometimes I can go on a bit of a tangent and confuse myself and make myself look silly. Spencer Williams takes that pitch for a called strike as Lachlan Oliver moves swiftly up to second. Spencer's 1 for 3. Chance to give his team a 3-run lead. 9 hits now on the day for Blacktown. They've made 4 errors. That's kept Baulkham Hills in the game. What's Spencer Williams with runners in scoring position?
He's a clean 333 with runners in scoring position, which, funnily enough, is slightly lower than his standard batting average. Not something you want to see as a coach, but again, he is a lead-off guy, so he's not going to see runners in scoring position too often.
Not as often as guys lower in the order, of course.
So we won't hold that against him. You don't get the opportunities as much, and
you could say about 18 of those at-bats have been with the bases empty, and Spencer Williams, frozen on that Sukins, shakes his head in disbelief. He either didn't agree with the call or he couldn't believe how good that pitch was from Nick Sukins. But either way, that strands a pair of Blacktown runners, and Baulkham Hills trail by a run as they come out in the top of the 7th. It's the championship innings of this second grade grand final. Blacktown leading by a run.
top of the 7th. Got Cuthbert, Ings and Courtney due up for Baulkham Hills, the 2, 3, 4 respectively, all of them with a hit on the day thus far. Strike 1 called on Cuthbert.
And certainly for Baulkham, the part of the lineup you want up. I'll try and get to the reliever in Ethan Bickle.
Down by 2 with a third of the game left. You can only imagine what the Baulkham Hills coaching staff are thinking right about now. Lachlan Oliver with a half-diving grab over at shortstop on the line shot from Cuthbert. So good to see him finally turn his fortunes around with the leather.
Not the easiest of plays to kind of get yourself back in the ball game defensively, but sometimes you just need a bit of a challenge to right the wrongs of the past.
We said it earlier, baseball makes the average elite, and the elite average as Ings is going to drop down a bunt down the third base line. The bridge, bare hands it over to Lakeman, who comes off the bag. Elder statesman of the Baulkham Hills lineup, Ings gets on with only one out.
We spoke about Nathan Skinner being that sneaky stolen base candidate. He stole a base in the last inning after almost doing it in his previous trip around the base paths. Chris Ings, certainly not a player you're expecting to drop down a bunt, but the bridge playing well back, saw the opportunity, maybe hit it a touch further than what he was hoping for, and those little legs get him up to first, and the tying runs on base for Baulkham Hills. I'm going to get all sorts of messages during the week. Surprised I haven't heard from anybody watching at home just yet. Although, If it's a Chris Ing supporter, it's a Baulkham Hill supporter, so they're probably going to be here
today,
think.
correct? You just know that someone's going to be watching midweek and...
Oh, they'll definitely go back and watch the replay.
Just like it to be noted that Luke speaks of his own volition. I am in no way associated with his comments.
Straight back up the middle. Lachlan Oliver flicks it over to Mitch Tritton. And he fires it over to Daniel Lakeman. And the Chris Ings bunt single is erased on the double play off the bat of Matthew Courtney. And as easy as you cometh, it taketh away. And we will take you into the bottom of the seventh after the seventh inning stretch. Two, three, four. Ranieri, Lakeman, Tritton, all due up for Blacktown in the home half of the seventh. Only two, maybe 2.5 frames to go in this second grade grand final as Ranieri's going to ground one left side and Castle's going to do an Oliver and just let that one go through his feet. Yeah, time running out for Baulkham. They're down to their final 6 outs to find at least one. Not quite the deficit we've seen in other games so far with outs running out, but with an error like that, let's hope for Baulkham Hill's sake and Jordan Castle's sake that it doesn't come back to hurt them.
It is Daniel Lakeman now up for Blacktown, 0 for 3 in today's outing. Again, has got that 1030 OPS, which is very judgian of him. Very judgian swing right there as well. You do know that when he gets a hold of one, it's usually going to go quite a ways away. Foul into the Blacktown bullpen. Long stroke on it. Again, you mentioned in the top half of the inning when Caleb Tunkin got on that do you bother swapping out a catcher in such a close game? And you've currently got Ranieri, the catcher for Blacktown, on first. And again, I'd be more inclined to leave him there. I don't believe they have anyone that's faster that can also catch. And Lakeman drives on down the line. Ings almost had to backhand that, did keep it in front of him, stopped extra bases. Ranieri and Lakeman both move forward 90 feet.
Yeah, Ings just couldn't quite get that on the first grasp. And I guess when you're looking at pinch running situations, not as important for Blacktown here with the 1-run lead. I was going to mention it about do Baulkham Hills pinch run for Chris Ings when he was at first. Unfortunately, the double play ended that idea very quickly. That one lined in the right field. Stančić over for it. It's going to drop. Ranieri is going to be held at third. The brakes go on. And Blacktown have the bases loaded here. And is this the nails going into the coffin for Baulkham Hills? They trail by a run. But they're in a jam here with the bases loaded. And no outs recorded. And that'll bring a visit from the Baulkham Hills manager. You don't necessarily have to have a catcher who can run fast. You can pinch hit and then put the backup catcher in. I'm sure Blacktown have got a couple of options down there. I think Ryan Barnes, the 18s catcher, is available.
That'll get you a fresh pair of legs without a doubt.
They could have the gold medal winning Eli White from third grade down there. Come out and do a job.
Come on, son, you've already won gold in one game. Why not do it again?
Pick yourself up another. But it hasn't mattered now because Ranieri stands at third base, 90 feet away. After an error, a play not made, and then a single by Mitch Tritton. Fortunately for Baulkham, Tritton doesn't have really anywhere to go. It's that ball straight back up the middle, off the bat of Tom Jackson. The throw from Basham, and he's not in time. The ball gets away from Tunkin. Jackson moves up to second. Tritton all the way around to third. Two more on the board. And Blacktown are definitely putting the screws in the coffin of Baulkham Hills here in the seventh.
Hey, you mentioned it earlier. The magic number was going to look something like the number 6, and guess where we are right about now. 6 runs on the board for Blacktown. None out in the inning just yet. And the aforementioned sneaky assassin, Nathan Skinner, up to the plate.
Nathan Sneaky Stealer Skinner. This might be my heaviest defeat on the magic number.
It could be.
Still nobody out, and Blacktown plenty of bats to come up. Skinner's 2 for 2 with a walk, driven in a run. It's the half swing at that pitch from Sukins.
Only 2 players on the Blacktown lineup with no hits, be the Bridge and Ranieri, but it's going to get made up quite easily by Tritton and Jackson having 3 apiece.
And Blacktown also making it hard to choose an MVP. Skinner lacing that one up into the Blacktown bullpen. Couple of candidates there. One with probably his nose ahead of the other. You can throw Tritton, Jackson, and Skinner into the mix. See who pops out first, you could say. That one, Shorty, can't get to it. Gets underneath him. Skinner heard his name mentioned in the MVP talk, and he picks up his 3rd hit of the day. He's 3 for 3, 2 ribbies and a walk. He's also got a sneaky stolen base. And Blacktown keep adding on. 13 hits now. And they have 3 runs in this inning and still nobody out. Baulkham Hills not making the pitching change. They got Brett Ardill warming up. Runners at first and third, and straight away, Darcy Williams wastes no time to drive in the 4th run of the inning, and we saw them do it in 3rd grade. They're doing it here again in 2nd grade, putting out that back, putting up that big inning. They did it on Friday night as well. Took advantage of some errors for a big final inning to really put the game beyond reach. That one popped up right side. Everyone goes over for it, but the netting gets in the way. Crest the bridge. He'll be behind 0-1. He's been frozen in his last 2 at-bats. The way this inning is unfolding, he might get off the duck.
Got to imagine that if everyone in the Blacktown lineup gets a hit, does the MVP go to the hitting coach?
Big swing and miss, 0-2 for the bridge. Yeah, you could certainly throw that name into the mix, although it's an MVP, not an MVC.
Most valuable person.
Straight back up the middle, kick save unsuccessful, but nicely turned by Courtney. Thankfully for Courtney and Baulkham Hills, Sukins couldn't kick it down. It went to Courtney, he scooped it, kicked second, threw it on a bounce to Kobe Cuthbert, who was quickly retreating back to first, and they are able to get a double play to get out of the inning. Skinner moves up to third. Krista Bridge will go to 0-3 and probably finish this grand final without a hit, but he won't care. He almost has a gold medal around his neck with the score now 8-3 after Blacktown have put up 4.
You guys should know the golden rule by now. It's the one with the gold rules. And Blacktown looking to make it 2 from 2 today.
That one. Courtney plays back for it. And they get 3 outs on 2 pitches. Lachlan Oliver retired there to finish the inning, but a big response by Blacktown. And they have well and truly got themselves heading towards victory. They lead at 8-3, 6 outs remaining for Baulkham Hills. They've got work to do. Sam Levick, the last of the Baulkham Hills hitters in this lineup to get a hit. When I say the last, only the top 5 have achieved a feat so far. The bottom 4 without one. To Ethan Bickle, to Sam Levick. Ethan Bickle back out on the mound. 3 innings of work here in this grand final. MVP committee with the job on their hands to decide the recipient.
Could theoretically put 4 names into a hat, draw one out, and not be angry with the rest.
That's right, you wouldn't have the wrong answer. Ethan Bickle making his case. No one warming in the pen for Blacktown, so they're happy to ride the youngster here.
With only 6 outs left in the Baulkham Hills season, you might as well go with the young stud.
No one pops, right side. Well, he's not going to be able to throw tonight in first grade. Else will use him as much as you can. Plenty of options there. If they can win tonight, then could be available for them Wednesday. Swing and a miss by Levick. Gets the first out, does Bickle. Here in the 8th. Magic number for Baulkham Hills, now down to 5.
You love
Sorry,
yourself.
not the magic number, the elimination number.
The elimination number, yes.
Top of the zone, taken for a could strike one. Lucas Stancic. Again, the bottom 4 of this Baulkham Hills lineup. Collectively 0 for 12 with 4 strikeouts. Stancic and Dylan Wright. If either of those can't get aboard, it'll be Tunkin, Bashin, and then the leadoff man, Jordan Castle. That one fouled off. People didn't want that ball. He wanted the one he got the foul with. Like the superstitions you see with, we used to see with some tennis players back in the day. They'd win a point, they'd want that ball back. 2-2, outside corner. A pitch missing.
Baseball players are the most superstitious sport in the world, if you ask any baseball player. Don't talk about a no-hitter, a perfect game, or a cycle chase.
That's it. Kostancic with the pitch recognition there. Let off a tough pitch down and away. Fouling off at 2-2 from Ethan Bickle. To now make the count 3-2. Top of the zone. Bickle climbs the ladder. Stancic up to it. Climbed it with him. Tried to push him off.
Doubt that he's going to get that foul ball back, how much he might like it.
I don't think we've got enough time in the day for that. We've got a first grade grand final kicking off at 6 o'clock. I'll tell you what, this game felt like it was labouring in the 6th, so it just got on its bike a little bit, and probably partly because of Ethan Bickle, another strikeout. Gets rid of Stancic. Moves on to Dylan Wright, trying to finish this 8th inning. So it's almost a game sometimes where you just want to go, we'll just stay out here. We'll get the final 6 outs. We don't need another bat. Get it over and done with.
Would be nice if he could just declare and...
That's it. Follow on, sir.
Exactly. We appreciate your time, sir, but we will enforce the follow on.
Top of the zone, called strike. 1-1. Stancic with the hat trick of strikeouts. 0 for 4, 3 punchies. That one, can he be big on right? 14 hits amassed by Blacktown. Jumped out to an 8-3 lead with that big run 7th we just saw. That one popped up, but that'll get out of play. Again, completely clearing the grandstand roof and landing somewhere behind us. Into the abyss, you could say. Outside corner, well away. And Alex Ranieri will almost be done for descent, the amount he tried to bring that ball back. Even BJ Bajarski having a bit of a joke there with Ji-Min Lee. 3-1 in the dirt. They'll check it. They'll get the answer. Ethan Bickle strikes out the side. Baulkham Hills down in order in the 8th. And their elimination number is at 3 with a margin of 5. Blacktown looking to extend that when we come back with the bottom of the 8th.
One, two, three up for Blacktown. Williams, Ranieri, Lakeman. 2 hits between 12 at-bats for the top 3. It's not always reflective of how efficient they have been.
It's probably the worst part of their lineup.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the top 3
2 for 12, 2 runs and 2 strikeouts. Gets better, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ranieri trying to get off the new lap.
Again, there's only 2 players for Blacktown that have currently got a goose egg in the hit column, Ranieri being one and the Bridge being the other, who I think unfortunately is going to go hitless in the grand final. Don't think he's really going to care, however, with a 5-run lead over Baulkham Hills.
Interestingly, Baulkham Hills rolling out Nick Sukins again. Thought they might have just made the change. I don't really need Brett Ideal for first grade. Breaking pitch fouled off by Spencer Williams. Fouls that one off, or has it gone foul? Just. Almost went in the early croak. Kostancic was over for it, but it kicked off the wall. Now it's back into play, and it's just being returned now. Be very nice, Graded Roberts, if his son hangs around for the next 5 hours.
Would be absolutely lovely if we get that opportunity.
I mean, the sun can go away at, say, 7:30-ish, and then as long as there's no dark clouds hiding behind the night sky.
As long as we don't have the awkward second cousin of the sun, being the rain, return to the ballpark, we'll be quite happy.
8-3 ball game here, the bottom of the 8th. 3 outs remain for Baulkham Hills. In the top of the 9th. Oh, just saw a double rainbow on the football coverage.
A 3-2 count, Sukin to Williams. Swung on. It's going to just trail foul in front of Ings. Going to have another go of it.
Just for those playing along at home, no changes to the Baulkham Hills defence. So they are as they were in the previous inning.
They were as they will be.
They will remain that way. That one flared, and back then in is Matthew Courtney, and he makes the catch to retire Spencer Williams for the first out. Game 2 of our first grade grand final series coming up next, and it's going to be a humdinger. Wells v. potentially Geyer. I did see Josh Geyer in the dugout holding a baseball bat, which piqued my interest. That one on the ground to Jordan Castle. Doesn't make the error this time. Throw a little bit offline, but enough to keep Alex Ranieri hitless in this grand final. And he and Krista Bridge will enjoy a beer in the corner later. The gold medal around their neck. Not a care in the world that they didn't get a hit in the grand final. They contributed in their own way. Ranieri scoring a run, the Bridge earning a walk and playing some pretty good defence in the hot corner. Strike fired in there to Daniel Lakeman.
Lakeman was able to punch a hit through, and looks like he's going to do the same again now.
Right on cue, making a late entry for MVP on us, but I think it might be an inning too late. It's down to the final 3, maybe a 4th, depending how the top of the 9th goes.
Definitely between Tritton, Jackson and Skinner, and as you've alluded to, you might see a potential pitching candidate in the mix as well. He who shall remain nameless.
No, we'll name him, Ethan Bickle. If he goes out and finds a scoreless, hitless, perfect inning, maybe with a couple of punches, he could well and truly be considered as Akira Bastion, backs up on that line drive by Mitch Tritton, who's probably looking for the advantage to finish with a 4-hit day. But he flies out and ends the top of the 8th. We're headed to the 9th. Baulkham with it all to do. Blacktown, one hand on the trophy and ready to celebrate for the second time today. Ethan Bickle looking for a 4-inning save. Backing up the starting pitcher in Harrison Riley, who went 5. 3 runs, 1 earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts on 6 hits. Ethan Bickle, so far just the 1 hit. He struck out 3. That was the side in the 7th. Giving up just the 1 hit. Just needed just 38 pitches through the 3 innings, so under that 13 an inning mark, which is very impressive. Just jags that pitch. First couple of pitches a little bit loose. Nothing yet to worry about. Caleb Tunkin, Kira Bastion. And back to the top of the order with Jordan Castle. We're going to have to go through the order. There to stand a chance. Top of the zone, 3-0. No, called the strike, 2-1.
Don't count your chickens yet, Luke. Crazier things have happened in baseball games. Last thing you want to do is write off a team a little too early.
Bottom of the zone, ball 3. Just making sure we have seen a very late call of strikes by Jamie and Lee throughout the game. Again, just warn me about going off early. And Tunkin will swing and miss at that offering, so that'll fill the count up 3-2 after a couple of shaky pitches by Ethan Bickle. Extends his at bat with that foul ball.
Again, we can go through numbers however much we like, but get to the top of the ninth and only got 3 outs left in your season. The numbers don't overly matter. It's just about doing what your team needs you to do and doing it well.
He's fighting hard. Here is Tunkin.
Ball landing near enough to the scorers, down just.
Got them a souvenir.
So the man known as Cubby strides in with a full count. Bickle kicks and deals. And it will be a walk for Tunkin. First base runner on for Baulkham Hills, and some might argue that the hope is still alive. Especially any that are in maroon and yellow. Kira Bastianen now up to the plate.
Been waiting a long time to get this at bat. It came in defensively after Adrian Hamley pinch hit. Since then, it's been up and down for Baulkham Hills. Hamley lined out to Mitchell Tritton, who almost tried to get a double play out of it. Michael Bryan, the first base umpire, was all over. That one popped up on the infield to the right side. Ethan Bickle says, you take it. And Daniel Lakeman obliges. I was like, mate, I was taking it anyway. What are you talking about? You just get back on your little hill up there and finish off this game for us.
So with 2 outs left in the Baulkham Hills season, they will flip the lineup card back to the top, with Castle and Cuthbert in the box and on deck. A man known as Shorty in the hole.
Hopefully it's a short hole. Because Baulkham are in a big one. It's been the top of the order that has got the job done for Baulkham Hills. Castle, Cuthbert, both 1 for 4. Ings and Courtney, two hits on the day.
Levick, the DH, a 5-hole also with a hit.
That one rips right side. I mean, you're down by 5. You got your catcher at first. Maybe it's the time to put in the pinch runner just for the sake. I mean, it's only going to be 1 run that you score. Maybe not.
If you are looking for a defensive replacement, Jackson Muldoon spent the year in 3rd grade. Wasn't overly productive with the bat, but I can attest to his defensive skills, as Castle's going to put one over to Oliver. A Jeter-esque play, unable to get it over to first in time.
Had everything but the arm strength there. Lachlan Oliver went to the backhand, got vertical, threw across his body, but it bounced about 7 times before it got to Daniel Lakeman. Jordan Castle gets his 2nd hit, albeit the infield single, but at the end of the day, it's a hit in the book.
It's more lawn bowls than baseball eventually. Castle does record his 2nd hit on the day, and Cuthbert now up with a runner in scoring position for anyone that's been following young Kobe Cuthbert, is aware of his potential power, how dangerous he can be with the stick.
AYC under 16 MVP a couple of years ago.
A brilliant performance.
Won that award with his arm as opposed to his bat. He was lights out in that tournament. He got the first hit of the ball game with a single back in the first. Unfortunately, as has been Baulkham Hills' misfortune, just stranding too many runners when they get them on. They've had them on base, just haven't found the right job in the bottom half of the order to drive them in when it mattered. So we're trying to work out who is going to be throwing for Blacktown. Still an hour till first pitch. Workers plays back in the dugout after hitting up in the tunnels. Bunch of their third graders hanging around with medals around neck and beverages in hand.
Always good to see club culture that includes everyone on the squad.
That's it. Their female team members also in attendance. Unfortunately, their first grade didn't get their chance yesterday. And I can probably say now, with this game completed, that second grade, sorry, take that back. The first grade women's grand final will be held on Tuesday night. 7:30 first pitch here at Blacktown. Long hold. Tritton just getting the eyesight of Caleb Tunker, making him go back to the base. And Bickle also staring him back. That one held off. Gonna ask the question, Jamie Mawini, who hasn't had a lot to do today, unlike his corner infield counterpart in Michael O'Brien over there at first. That's probably the first signal we've seen him make.
Don't often see a southpaw in general, so you don't often have to go up the third baseline to get that check. 3-2 count. Bickle to Cuthbert. Kicks, deals, and ball inside, and that will load up the bases for Baulkham Hills.
Brendan Bajarski doesn't care. He's got the 5-run lead. 3 base runners aren't going to hurt him right now.
Do have Chris Ings up to the plate though. Will he be able to get a power stroke off and find any amount of outfield grass? Potentially score 1, maybe 2.
A grand slam still keeps it a 1-run ball game, so even if Shorty does pull off a miracle, then maybe Blacktown make the change for the final out. He's 2 for 3 today. Scored, walked, drove in a run. That's that first pitch from Ethan Bickle for a ball. Bickle's pitch count approaching 60.
Real long relief stint.
That one in there for a called strike, going for the 4-inning save. Double play does it. Ripped up the line, just foul. It looked good for a very long way. Jimin Lee waves it off very quickly. And no arguments from anyone.
I think at this point of the game I wouldn't be arguing with, and this is a technical term, a damn thing. Whatever the play call is whatever it is. And
1-2 here to Ings. Punch right side this time. Back for it is Lakeman. It's an infield fly, so it doesn't matter if it's caught or not. Lakeman had trouble finding it initially. And Baulkham Hills down to their final out. And I will say the Women's League first grade grand final scheduled for 7:30 on Tuesday. if we get tonight's game in and it's decided, i.e. Baulkham Hills win, then the under-18s will be on Wednesday night. If we come back on Wednesday for whatever reason, the under-18s will be on Thursday night. Tuesday, Wednesday, and potentially Thursday to finally close out this season. Great, Robert. Tuesday night is all yours.
Appreciate that.
Unfortunately, am stuck at work. But I will be here Wednesday. Matthew Courtney, the last hope for Baulkham Hills. Ethan Bickle trying to find the final out. Courtney 2 for 4. behind a walk. We saw Blacktown keep Cronulla to just 2 runs. Baulkham Hill have scratched 3 in this one.
Two-0 count to Courtney.
Top of the zone. Called strike. Evens the count at 1. Just when I said that this game had a good little kick in the backside towards the back end, it slowed right down here in the top of the 9th. This is just one of those things you don't mention.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Down and away, 2 and 1.
Three-one count. Swung on through the middle. Line way out to centre field, and they'll score one. They've sent Castle from second and sliding in to score the second run off that hit. Is there a little bit of life in that Baulkham Hills dugout?
Well, they're going to battle here. They've got 2 back. As you say, you never say never. And Brendan Bajarski's going to come out, and looks like that might be it for Ethan Bickle. He was asked to do a lot of work. Bajarski put his faith in him. Maybe he's going to give him one last shot. The tying run is on base. So the go-ahead run will be in the form of Sam Levick at third. Sam Levick in the batter's box. A long chat here by Bajarski, Ranieri and Bickle. Jamie Wilson only lasted 3 innings. 4 runs charged to him on 6 hits. 3 walks to strike out. Sukins was good through 3. Ran into trouble in his 4th inning. Ended up with 3 earned runs on 9 hits. He struck out 5. Interestingly, Baulkham Hills, despite having plenty of arms seemingly at their disposal, deciding not to use them. So maybe some game management hurting them. That one to the right side. First pitch after the chat. Tritton to Lakeman and Blacktown. They're 2 from 2 today. 3 from 3 on the weekend. They take out the 2nd grade state league grand final. The dog pile next to the pitcher's mound. 8-5 the final here at Blacktown. And Ethan Bickle gets the job done. 4 innings in relief of Harrison Riley. They combined for 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, just 5 runs. Blacktown get the job done, and they take win number 2 on the day. Congratulations to Benny Maguire, lefty, and the crew down there. Brendan Bajarski, the winning manager. Harrison Riley, the winning pitcher. And Ethan Bickle with the... You don't see it every day, but it's a 4-inning save. So well done to the workers. Grady, just another clinical performance by the club that just leads the way.
Yeah, Blacktown really showing to be the premier clubhouse amongst all the grades this weekend, with a lot of offense in just about every game we've seen from them. That 4-run inning really being the cornerstone of the game after getting ahead early. It is going to be tough to pick a player of the match. Who have you got, Luke?
Well, mate, there'll be a discussion held in a minute, but I think it's between Triton, Jackson, Skinner, and Ethan Bickle. I think if Bickle doesn't complete that inning, maybe he falls out of the chat, but there'll be a conversation had. Stick around for the presentation. That'll happen in a few minutes' time. And then the second game of our first grade grand final between Baulkham Hills and Blacktown. That's scheduled for 6 o'clock. So presentation, grab yourself an early dinner, another refreshment or two from the fridge, and settle in for what is going to be one hell of a first grade grand final game 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your attention. Thank you for your patience. Congratulate Blacktown, that's 2 on the trot.
be there today. A lot of us again. It was a hard-fought game. It was a good script too, so thanks for you guys. That was a lot of heart. Came out, gave it a crack, and I thought we were in that game for a good 7 innings, all right? That was a good strong game, that 7 innings, strong innings. So I want to congratulations to everybody for sticking out this season. We're getting better, especially now. First of all, thanks for the walk, go. It's been a good year all round. They've always been good games against you guys, and going to continue. Mark and your team have been outstanding for too many years now, and all the best to do in the future. Umpires, good job. Only a few things to whinge about today. I thought it weren't too bad. But, my guys battled hard. Guys playing out of position, and guys upgrade everywhere, and very rarely did we have the same lineup, and it didn't last the response. We've gone back on the way, so hats off to you guys. Well done. Harrison Riley. Ethan Biggle. Ashton Kennedy. Alex Vanieri. Daniel Lakeman. Mitchell Tritton. Lachlan Oliver. Chris the Bridge. Darcy Williams. Spencer Williams. Thomas Jackson. Eli North. Nathan Skinner. Lachlan Robinson. Mason McCoon. Brian Barnes. Talon Cabot. Nigel Boone. Craig Ford. Matty Maguire. Ben Maguire. And Nathan Wright hiding out there somewhere. We got Jared Bates.
Congratulations, before you do that, I'd just like to announce the MVP.